Good morning, students. In this session, we are going to talk about reported speech. Reported speech. In this presentation, I'm going to talk about definition of reported speech, basic rules, and there are some changes which are going to take place when you report someone else's sentences or words or quotes in your own sentence. There are changes like tense changes, basic tense changes, other tense changes, time and place, how it changes in reported speech, pronouns change, reporting verb, and use that in reported speech, and indirect questions, and some practice session. Reported speech, normally known as indirect speech, refers to someone else's words, sentences or quotes. We are reporting them in our own. And reported speech doesn't use quotation marks or enclose what person said. It doesn't have to be word for word. That means we do not exactly quote the same. And when we use reported speech, normally we are talking about past because someone said it in the past and we are reporting it. So normally tense has to be in past. The verbs there usually have to be in the past. Like there is an example, I am going to the cinema. Right? I am going to the cinema, like someone said, like Sita said, I am going to the cinema. I am going to the cinema, exact words spoken by Sita. And when you are making those words in your own, or making them or reporting them, then who said? Sita said. Sita, like he or Sita said he was going to the cinema, because the person who said will become the third one because you are referring it to the second one who is opposite to you. So he said he was going to the cinema. There are normally some changes that take place. When changing from quoted speech to reported speech, there are several changes occurs. In all sentences, the quotation marks and commas immediately after the first quotation mark are removed. Let us check the example. She said, I am teaching English online. She said, comma, inverted commas begin, I am teaching English online. And when you take the reported one, there will not you do not find commas and inverted commas in the reported speech. Like she said she was teaching English online. She said she was teaching English online, and the subject pronoun is changed. The meaning of the quote is not changed. Lastly, the tense of the verb is also changed or shifted. Like for example, I am teaching English online. It is a direct quote by she or someone like Sita. And when you are referring them like the other one, she was teaching. Tense change from present to past. And these are some basic changes that normally takes place during the conversion. Direct speech, she said it is cold, it is in present. Simple present becomes simple past. Present continuous becomes past continuous. She was teaching English online. Present perfect simple becomes past perfect simple, like she had been on the web since 1999. And present perfect continuous, again past perfect continuous. Simple past will become past perfect. Past continuous becomes past perfect continuous. Past perfect, there is no change in the tense because it is already no change. She said the lesson had already started. We do not have any other verb or other tense to make. Past perfect continuous stays same. There is no change in past perfect continuous tense. And in indirect speech, when we take moral auxiliaries, will become would. I'll teach English online tomorrow. She would teach English online tomorrow. Can becomes could, must becomes had to, shall becomes should, may becomes might. And there is no change to could, would, should, might, ought. If you have them in reported or direct speech, there need not to be any change, because when we have will become, it will become would. If we have already would, there is no change in the reported speech. Positive, there are also we quote positives or imperatives like shut up. And who said it? He told whom? Me to shut up. Right? Don't do that again. He told me not to do it again. So imperatives are bit complicated to change, and when we have to understand it, and then we can change it into indirect speech. Imperatives are requests. Please give me some money. He asked me to give him some money, or he requested. And we can also use the verb, reporting verb, as requested. You can use the present tense in the reported speech if you want to say something that is still true. My name is always been true and will always be Lynn. It means my name is Lynn, she said. Not, and when you report it, because the sentence is in the present, and name doesn't change all the time. So she said her name was Lynn. No, she said her name is Lynn. Still her name is Lynn. And you can also use present tense if you are talking about a future event. Next week the lesson is on reported speech, she said. She said next week lesson is on reported speech. That is still true, not was. And if you use was, because here we have verb is, simple present, and if you use was, it changes the meaning of the sentence. And there are also some time and place changes that take place, because you change the tense. Again, time and place references also have to change. Now becomes then, today becomes that day, here becomes there, this becomes that, this week becomes that week, tomorrow becomes the following day, the next day, the day after. And there are again some more changes that takes place next week, yesterday, last week, ago, 2 weeks ago, tonight, last Saturday, next Saturday. All these are the changes that normally takes place during the conversion from direct speech to indirect speech. Examples, just check. I went to the theater last night. He said he had gone to the theater the night before. Last night becomes the night before. I'm staying here until next week. He said he was. There is a tense change, he was. Pronoun changes, he was. Present continuous becomes past continuous. He was staying there until next week, until the following week. In addition to the reported, if you report something that someone said a different place or where you have heard it, you must also change the place. At work, right? How long you have worked there at work. She asked me to how long worked, here becomes there. Pronouns changes, like I teach English online, I becomes someone else. For example, I am quoting the same sentence to my friend, and who I here, a teacher, right? A teacher becomes third person to the one that I am talking to. So she said she. Here I replaced by she teaches English online. You also need to be very careful with personal pronouns. They need to be changed according to the situation. Sometimes there is a change, sometimes you do not need to change. If you change, there will be confusion, or the meaning is not given in a proper manner. She said she had been waiting for us. Is the person or two different? I told them they would have to ask. She said she had been waiting for us. Here, who is reporting? Okay, the same one is saying she had been reporting or waiting for hours. So the reported one is same, so that you need not to. I told them they would have to ask permission. Are waiting. So are we talking about two groups or people, anyone? No, right? So when we have to be very careful when we are choosing the pronouns. Yeah, reporting verbs said, told, asked are the most commonly used in indirect speech. We use ask to report questions. Like in the example, I asked Lynn what time the lesson started. I asked. We also use told. Lynn told me she felt tired. We also use said without an object. Lynn said. And if said is used with an object, we must include to. Said to whom? Someone, right? Said to, when you say Rama said, said to someone. Okay. And there are many verbs that we can use apart from said, told and asked. These are the verbs list, accused, admitted, advised and all other things, promised. Most of them used with imperatives. Using them properly can make what you say much more interesting and informative. For example, he asked to come to the party. Like there are a number of other reporting verbs we can also use here. He invited me to the party. He begged me to come to the party. He ordered me to come to the party, and he advised me to come to the party. So there are a number of reporting verbs we can manage, and it depends upon the person who is reporting it, and use that in reported speech. In reported speech, the word that is often used. He told me that he lived in Greenwich. However, that is optional, and we can't say it is compulsory, so that is most of the time optional. He told me he lived in Greenwich. Note that is never used in questions. Instead of, we often use if and whether. He asked me if you are reporting a question, if I would come to the party, right? Indirect questions use of verbs of speech. In indirect verbs, asked, wondered, inquired, wanted to know, tried to find out. These are the words normally we use it in indirect questions. Speech for questions used for words where, when instead of that. Change verb tense. Change of the verb tenses, pronouns and time expressions, just like the reporting statements. Use of the question word, like just check the example question word, subject plus verb. He asked when they would arrive. My friend asked if I was coming. So these are the ones. And there is a change, like from direct form to indirect form. For example, my friend said, are you coming? It is yes or no type of question, and most of the time with yes or no type of questions we go with if. My friend asked, said becomes asked, and here we take the help of if I was coming, not was I coming. It is I was coming, right? My friend said, are you coming? My friend asked if I was coming. Here it will be like a statement, not SR type of question that is quoted by the speaker. In practice, we have some examples here. Frank said, I live in a small house. These are the practice sets. Frank said that he lived in a small house. Alice said, New York is very exciting. Alice said that New York was very exciting. Frank asked, are you married? And here it is a yes or no type of question, and we go with if. In this case, Frank asked if Alice was married. Right? Here married is a past one, and then we go with a past verb form. Okay, thank you. Thank you for listening and staying with me. I hope you got good idea over conversion from direct speech to indirect speech. I hope you like my class and practice some examples from your textbook so that you can get good idea over conversion. Thank you.